Hello and welcome to the World We Live In podcast. I'm your host, Eric Patterson. Alongside me is my sister, Erin. Join us as we explore the amazing, mysterious aspects of our planet's cultures, history, and future trends. Howdy, howdy.
What up?
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah?
Great, actually. Today's been a great day.
Great day.
I got to come here and drive outside the city, and I can see some trees
They're turning.
are brown.
They are turning. All the leaves are brown.
Yeah, so that's exciting. It's also still 80 degrees, which is like fine.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Got a massage today.
Yes, our girl, Julie.
Julie. Shout out, Julie.
Yeah, Julie kills it. She knows what's up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did that, then I went and found a new outfit for an
Nice.
event.
Nice.
In literally 30 minutes, like, good things are happening today. So
Let's keep it rolling.
let's keep it rolling. What about you?
Yeah, just,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I
I've
just
been-
like attacked the
you
table.
did.
on
Almost
accident.
tipped it over.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been busy with work and coaching soccer, and luckily today my morning was just busy, which was nice. And yeah,
You had yet another wedding to attend, yet you also had soccer.
I did. This past weekend was rough.
Yeah.
I had to drive down, coach 2 soccer games, drive back for a wedding, and then had to go to a birthday party Sunday morning, and then our dad was in town and had to go to dinner with him. So I feel like I didn't even have a weekend.
Yeah, that's
So-
how it ends up being
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, and I guess that's what parents feel like, you know.
Yeah.
There's the weekend is just like
Another
you're doing.
day.
You're doing things with your kids, but not that I'm gonna have kids any soon. But anytime soon, that's just what parents feel like, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
But this weekend I have nothing, so. Yeah.
What are you going to do with your time?
Me and my girlfriend are just going to. Let's see, Saturday. What are we doing Saturday? I think we're just going to get breakfast Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then, a couple of our friends have an open house. They bought a house.
Oh,
they're
nice.
They're getting married in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And so they have an open house thing that we're going to. And then my girlfriend's going to a Panic at the Disco concert
Oh, that's lit. Where is that?
at Bridgestone. So that's going to be
When is that? Sunday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Okay.
Yeah. And then
Oh goodness, there's a lot going on in this city this
there
weekend.
it is just
I
there's
kind
a-
of just want to end it all.
Yeah,
Right now.
I think there's an Instagram page called Do615, which 615 is the area code for Nashville, and
seen
it
that.
like lists all of the things going on like every week, and it's like 7 or 8 slides on Instagram where you got to keep swiping because there's like so many things happening.
Wow.
Oktoberfest is this weekend as well in Nashville.
It
So I think is it Sunday the Wiener
Sunday
Dog races?
afternoon.
Yeah, Wiener Dog races. Okay, cool.
Where I've recruited a group
Got to
to attend,
Got to.
so we're gonna go watch some wiener dogs race each other, and
Yep,
it was legendary last time.
it was
Eric and I went.
legendary. There was a Wiener Dog in a stroller
Uh-huh.
that wasn't racing, obviously, and it was covered in a little blanket.
It was. Oh
was
my
so
gosh,
cute.
that was so cute. And then that one guy held it up like
When it won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Lion King.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cute.
I will eventually participate in a Wiener Dog race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
It's gonna
So-
be like whose is gonna be faster.
Yeah.
Mine or yours.
Competitive. I know.
There's also, which is just as great as the Wiener Dog race, is a beer slip and slide
Yes.
because it's like Oktoberfest, so beer is
Yes.
a big thing, and it's just people lose their mind like on a Sunday afternoon for no reason.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, I'm gonna go down the beer slipping slide. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
Slip and slides gets people. They
They
get people
do.
going.
It-
Yeah.
It's like, they do get people
They
going.
really do, man. It's like
It's like everything they didn't get to do as a kid.
Exactly. That's why Disney World is so. That's why so
It
many
is.
people love Disney World and Disneyland because you get to be a kid. Mm-hmm. You go and can be a kid.
And like no one questions it.
No one cares. No one cares
Yeah.
unless you're assaulting a character. Then
Then
can't really do that. But
yeah.
yeah,
No hitting the characters.
because it does happen.
Yeah.
My girlfriend worked at Disney, and
Oh,
does
it
happen.
does. I've heard,
it does
yeah.
happen. So, but yeah, no, it'll be fun. This is the first time they've done it since COVID.
It is. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I had just came to Nashville last time we went.
Yeah. I thought they would do it last year, but
I know.
I know that they get a lot of the beer from Germany.
Oh yeah, that could have been.
And so this is the first year that Germany's doing Oktoberfest again. So I think that was why it didn't happen last year.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
But it's exciting. Gonna go drink some good German beer, some Kolsch, and some Hefeweizen.
Love it. I'm there for the bratwurst, and
Dude, yeah, man.
I'm gonna be a bloated piece of shit after.
Yeah.
But
Hey, is what it is.
yeah, I mean,
You get an elephant ear, some bratwurst. Yeah. It's all
it's
all
great.
good.
It is such good vibes,
it's a good
and it
time.
means that fall is being rung in.
Yes.
And now
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about haunted dolls.
Yes, we are starting the
Yep.
Halloween season off right. If you haven't seen Hocus Pocus 2 yet, you need to see Hocus Pocus 2. Okay, it's good.
I cannot remember where I was, but it was like a construction worker went up to I think it might have been Starbucks, to order a drink, and the barista was like, "Have you seen Hocus Pocus yet this year?" To a guy who looks like he would not be watching Hocus Pocus, and he was like, "No, not this year, but I like to watch them in order."
Oh, wow.
He can't watch anything out of order, and he was
Yeah.
saying just in general. But I just thought it was so funny.
That's great.
I don't does she ask everyone that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, I need to watch it.
It's just maybe I should test this guy out and
No.
see if he knows what's up.
He did.
That is funny. Yeah, it's a great movie, and they did a good job for the sequel. Also a big fan of Sarah Jessica Parker, so
Just join the club.
Yep. Okay. So we're gonna talk about some haunted dolls. I'm gonna start off with Robert the Doll. Okay. Have you heard of Robert the Doll, Aaron?
No, I haven't. I was
Okay.
just gonna say I have no preconceived anything about dolls.
I don't honestly either, because they creep me the fuck out. I hate dolls. I hate things with eyes looking at
Okay.
me. I don't even like looking in the mirror when I get up to go to the bathroom at night, because mirrors are weird to me.
I agree.
Mirrors are a strange thing. And yeah, anyway.
No, I agree. I'm I don't want to see anything.
Yeah. It is. I think it's that uncanny valley thing. You
Yeah.
know, the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Something that, not the mirror part, but the doll part. Something
Yeah.
that looks human is just weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's just weird to our eyes. So,
That's true. Because we can't actually we see other humans.
yeah, we see other humans and we know they're humans.
Yes.
But when we see something that looks human-like,
That isn't.
it's like,
It's freaky.
yeah, our body's
That's how I
it
feel.
knows something's not
That's
right.
how I feel about mannequins. I hate mannequins.
Yes. Yeah, or what is it? What's that mannequin place in London? Or is it New York?
What is it?
It's the mannequin, famous people get their
Like a wax.
wax
thing?
museum, yeah. Is it
There's
Madame Trousseau?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
one of Victoria, she was just at the wax museum or something in Opryland. Apparently that's a thing. I'm like, that has to be
Wow.
something else.
Damn.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
how not up to standard that wax
Oh,
museum is.
yeah. If it's at Opryland, it's gonna be cool, but it's gonna be subpar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, this was fine. I'm glad I saw it.
Yes.
Get me outta here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Robert.
So, Robert is this really creepy looking doll. He's very old. So it has a little bit of a backstory. So bear with me here as we go through some history. This article is from Mysterious Universe. It says, haunted dolls always have a fascinating backstory, because something it doesn't come haunted. Nothing just comes haunted. The objects are made and then they become cursed or haunted. So Here we are. Okay. So the history of the Robert the Doll, from Robert the Doll website, okay, is maintained by Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, which I hope is still standing. I don't know.
Right.
Because Key West got destroyed. Not destroyed, but the hurricane just ran through there.
Right.
Robert was a one-of-a-kind handmade creation by the doll makers at the Steiff Company of Geigen, Germany. Interestingly, Richard Steiff, the nephew of Margaret Steiff, the company founder, also designed the original teddy bear, which is insane. I mean, I would argue that every household probably has some sort of teddy bear.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in 1903, he built a new factory called Virgin's Aquarium, which is a really weird name. I don't know how that's what he settled on.
Right.
Which allowed the workers inside to enjoy ample natural light, a first for its time, and equipped the building with a ramp so that his aunt could go everywhere in her wheelchair. In those years, in the early 1900s, Richard Steiff also made a boy doll standing 40 inches tall and stuffed with wood wool. The doll was purchased in 1904 by a tourist who took it to Key West in the U.S. and gave it to his grandson, Robert Gene Otto. Robert... So the doll was called Robert. The boy was named Gene. So Gene owned the doll. Mm-hmm. Robert had a boy's face, possibly looking like Gene's at the request of his grandfather, and dressed in a sailor's outfit said to be similar to the one Gene liked to wear. So Robert the doll is dressed up. If you look up pictures of Robert the doll, he's dressed up in a sailor's outfit, and he's still wearing it. Shouldn't say he. Should I say he? Is that kind of weird? Is it an it? It's it,
Maybe
right?
it.
I think it is more appropriate because...
We're just basing that off the name.
Yeah, by Robert, yeah. But it's a doll. It's not a human.
This is the issue.
Yeah, this is the issue here. You want to
personify
things. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
It
wears an outfit, a sailor's outfit. So this is where it gets kind of weird. So two family stories contribute to this strangeness of Robert the doll. They allegedly participated in voodoo, this family did, and Gene often gave Robert human powers, blaming accidents and intentional trouble on the doll. Other than that, not much more of Robert's hauntedness was recorded during this kid Gene's lifetime. Gene became an artist, designed the gallery at Fort East Martello Museum, and had planned to make his own home a museum. The doll remained there after Gene's death in 1974, and that's when it becomes a little weird. Tenants heard footsteps in the attic, and a plumber heard mysterious giggling and believed the doll moved around a room. A local reporter claimed he made a snide remark about the late Gene Otto, and Robert's facial expressions changed. The reporter allegedly said that there was some kind of intelligence there. The doll was listening to us. Myrtle Reuter bought the house and Robert in 1974. Took him with her when she moved to another home in 1994. Donated the doll to the Fort East Martello Museum with the warning that he moved around on his own and was haunted.
She was like, here you go.
Take this away from me. I do not want this.
We'll warn you, though. So, like, we're thinking that this doll is haunted with the late Gene. Is that a...
So, yeah, I don't know the whole story. Like, I'm reading this as you are.
But that's a possibility.
From what I'm inferring right now, yeah, it sounds like the attachment to this doll by Gene allowed Gene to somehow possess this doll as a spirit. That's what it sounds like.
Which is so wild because you rarely hear about spirits possessing things that aren't already alive or that aren't alive, right?
There are actually a lot. We haven't covered any, but there are a lot of inanimate objects that are haunted.
Huh. How does it, what's the explanation of that? I understand it in a live being or a live something.
Yeah.
But when it's an inanimate object, how is it able to haunt? How is it able to take over it?
So I guess it's a similar idea that there are nature spirits or tree spirit or some sort of water spirits or whatever. It's the idea that, again, no explanation here, but it's the idea that a spirit is able to enter something inanimate.
Got it.
And make that its home.
Got it. Okay.
Right, because otherwise spirits would just be floating around or doing
knocking
whatever
shit over and
especially if they're trapped on this side,
right? Okay, interesting.
So okay, let's see here. So yeah, she donated the doll. It was moving around. This was verified by museum staff and visitors who claim that bad things happened to them after seeing the doll in its display case and possibly showing it disrespect. So this is another thing that I've read over the years is that when dolls like this or some sort of inanimate objects are haunted, if you ignore it and disrespect it, it will get worse. So it's almost as if the spirit is looking for attention. And so if you take care of it and make it your friend, even though
that's weird.
Even though it's weird and and its eyes are moving, it's not supposed to be moving. Yes, that's weird, but the more you ignore it, the worse it gets.
Right.
So I actually saw a clip of this next little tidbit here. So the Discovery Plus did this, I guess, this show called Shock Docs: The Curse of Robert the Doll. And I from the clip I saw, it was this it might have been the host, but she was talking about how the doll, she's some sort of not medium, but is able to tap into the spirit world and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I guess sort of a medium. But she was saying that there are multiple entities attached to this doll. She they were filming her, and I mean, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But she was yeah, there's a lot going on here. This doll is definitely haunted.
Wow.
But in this context, they interview this woman named Bonnie Randolph, who claims to have been victimized by the doll. So that's just a little tough, but. The emotion. Randolph apologizes to the doll for whatever she did to it that cursed him, or that caused him to break someone's back and sink a boat.
He went straight for
He just went straight for the kill.
You can do.
Straight for the kill. She asked this doll for forgiveness. So I don't know. That's all. I think that's all it says about that interaction. But yeah, that doll went straight for the kill.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says the biggest blockbuster revelation of the documentary concerns the origin of Robert's cursed powers. One theory blames an alleged affair between Jean Otto's father and a housemaid. According to the narrators, after she was dumped by the father, the maid put a spell on the doll to curse him and the family. That's about as crazy X story as it gets, right?
So blames the affair between Jean's father and the housemaid. Okay.
Correct. And then the housemaid cursed the family and the doll.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
On the other hand, psychic medium Cindy Kaza sees the doll as a conduit for the thoughts of the person viewing it. She says, I don't feel Robert the doll is evil. I feel that there is a portal. There's an entry point, and it's the person's intentions coming towards the doll that create the outcome. How you approach Robert the doll will determine how you experience the doll. Okay, let's unpack that for a little bit. What So she's saying that, like, depending on the person, like the experience of the person depends on how
Yeah, I guess
they view the doll.
Yeah. I guess, like, if you don't have any, like, negative thoughts or, like, energy, then it probably wouldn't affect you, maybe. Or if you haven't done anything bad.
So, like, I would say you and me have had a relatively easy upbringing. Like, not very much trial and tribulation. So, like, is that suggesting that the doll would, like, not affect us?
Maybe.
You know, because we're not, like, we haven't had a lot of trauma, or, as compared to someone who, like, have been in a car crash and, like, might have lost their mom or dad, or...
So, I haven't talked verbally with Cindy Kaza, but I have talked with her because the company I work for represents her.
Oh, no way.
And she lived in Nashville for like a decade. And so, but I had been in touch with her for something for work, but she's super cool. So
really?
I will report back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's cool.
Okay, sweet.
But I want to know that too, because I don't really fully understand that.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit esoteric, I guess, or...
Yeah, and she does, like, a lot of stuff. She's technically a medium, but I think she does a lot of stuff with, like, more, like, on the haunted side of things.
Got it.
Not necessarily like a...
Talking
like
to the
a guy
dead.
who sits down with you and, like... Yeah, like, your dead grandfather comes up, you know? It's more like haunted things and spirits. So I think that's cool, but...
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, So apparently there's been at least one death connected to Robert. This person was a Key West ghost tour guide who had the face of Robert the doll tattooed on his arm. Shortly after it was finished, the guide was dead.
After the tattoo was fit? Oh, my...
Coincidence or curse? I don't know. Much of the documentary covers old beliefs about the doll. People claim to see Robert the doll or Robert's chest move as if he's breathing. Wow. Visitors feel something touch them. Cameras pick up flying orbs around the doll. As I'm sure you've inferred by now, these are very tough to prove. But people apparently see it. Nobody does sorry, I thought that
he glitched, everyone.
I thought I was reading the line like below where I should have, and I thought it said something else. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know.
I don't either, but that's still creepy.
Still very, very weird. Again, pictures of the doll are very creepy too. Did you look? Did you look? Yeah. It's a strange looking thing.
I feel like these dolls remind me of, like, the game I Spy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's those kind of vibes, and it's just very eerie to me.
Yeah.
But, like, I've never had an experience with a doll. I didn't really even have dolls. I was, like, a very, not doll type of child. I was basically a dude, so.
I wasn't either. I mean, we were always in sports, so, like, we didn't really.
I did have an American Girl doll one time.
Oh, yeah?
She was cool. She was like a skater girl.
Okay, nice.
Which, you know, not like Robert.
Not like Robert.
So, 180 for sure, but...
Yeah, so... Weird. Very weird. I guess Robert the doll is still in that museum, so...
If it's still standing.
If we're ever in Key West, maybe think about it. I don't know.
I would love to go to Key West.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It does.
I hope, I hope it didn't get too destroyed.
We should so go see Robert, though.
Yeah.
If we're there.
Yeah. I mean, we could go to Florida every couple of years.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's, like, always usually going to be pretty warm. I feel like
Key West? Yeah, definitely.
So, it's just so far. Where do you even have to fly into? Like, Miami?
Miami or Fort Myers, I think.
Do you fly to the island?
You can fly or you can drive. Well,
yeah.
I don't think you can drive currently, but
on a normal day.
In a normal season, you can drive. Yeah.
Where was that place in Florida where the bridge got taken out, and it was like
that
the only
was Sanibel. Yeah.
Right, because everyone's like, "Oh, I love Sanibel." Like everyone vacations there.
Yeah,
you know?
and it completely got taken out.
Like that is insane. I'm gonna need more than one way to enter and exit anything. Like,
Yeah, you would think so.
especially out there, like you think they would have. But I think about places we've gone where it's like one bridge takes you.
Oh yeah, or I mean, like in Seattle, it was just the one ferry. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they don't get hurricanes up there.
Right.
But yeah, it's just that Gulf of Mexico. It just stirs up storms.
Yeah.
It's pretty much every year.
It is every year.
You're guaranteed a hurricane, whether it's
massive hurricane each year.
Whether it's a Category 5 or a Category 2, or whether when it hits land, is it a
Well,
Category 4?
I thought this one wasn't. It like died off pretty. Like they thought it was going to be way worse. Like it still was bad.
It was a Category 4 when it hit land, I believe,
Oh,
and then
okay.
it went down to a Category 3. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Okay. So right when it hit, it was pretty bad.
Yes. And now usually I think what happens is they die off as they get closer to land. Mm-hmm. That's why the islands always get fucked up, because they're
But
in
then
the middle of the ocean.
Coast is
But then-
normally okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it just missed. Like it didn't really hit Tampa at all.
No, it was mainly
It was like further. Was
I think
it further south?
Yeah, I think it was further south.
I feel like the
But-
last few years it's kind of missed Tampa, which is wild. But
Yeah.
weather's like like they can predict it, yet it's still so unpredictable. It's
I
crazy.
mean, you can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay. I just got some random doll stories.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there are countless tales of haunted dolls.
Yes.
Dolls are so present and everything, but this one from Moundsville, West Virginia says, years ago, the woman had a grade school friend named Emily, and two spent a lot of time at Emily's home. The entire house had a strange feeling to it, but it was the attic that was the most unnerving, naturally. The attic was finished, but had that death smell to it, like an abandoned building. It was always cold despite the hot air that would rise from the floors below. The attic contained 4 small rooms, and one room was entirely devoted to dolls.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm
Got
good.
to go.
I'm good. One afternoon, the two girls played with a few of the dolls until Emily's grandmother called them to lunch. They placed the rag dolls back on the shelf, but one tumbled off just as they were about to leave. This was strange, as a doll fell into a way that seemed physically impossible. Puzzled, the woman returned the doll to its shelf and went downstairs to eat. However, that wasn't the end of the encounter. Later on that day, Emily and I were playing in the woods adjacent to her house, and I squatted down to pick up a pretty stone. When I went down, I felt something poking in my pocket. I put my hand in my pocket, and I found 2 doll eyes. The eyes from the doll that I had picked up earlier that day. Needless to say, I was terrified. Or needless to say, I have been terrified of dolls ever since.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, again, Uncanny Valley. Something about the eyes is the sketchy part.
Yeah, agreed.
Apparently there is this thing called the Dollhouse Cam.
Okay.
It streams videos of haunted dolls 24/7.
There is literally something for everything. Like, where is it streaming them from?
I have no idea. It says, set in a farmhouse in rural Pennsylvania amongst the mountains and streams is a little-known secret, reads the title page of dollhousecam.com. First of all, that is the sketchiest name you could possibly...
It is.
Anything that says cam next to it is just sketchy.
Like the kiss cam.
Like the kiss cam, like any sketchy porno site is just something cam, right? And nobody clicks on that. Well, some people do, I guess.
Yeah.
Some people do. It says 7 dolls that once were loved by little girls now adorn the home of a family of 5. They don't just sit looking pretty. These porcelain beauties, for lack of a better description, have taken on a life of their own.
Porcelain beauties.
Porcelain beauties. That's sketchy. Sketchy.
It's sketchy.
I'm glad we were never into dolls.
Oh, same
just-
now.
Yeah, now for sure. I think the only like doll I had is gone now, but it was like, do you remember Alf, the
Yes, I know what you're talking
alien life form? He used to be on a show.
Yep. Did you have that?
I did. Yeah, it was in my closet for a while. Again, forgot about. Forgot about.
That's what they get pissed.
They do.
Like, let me go haunt some things and maybe they'll pay attention to me.
I know, right? So I did have another story, but I forgot my Mysterious Universe login because I am a Plus subscriber. Shout out to Mysterious Universe.
He just can't remember his login.
Can't remember the login.
What? Is it one that you have to have the Plus to view?
I just no, it isn't.
Oh.
We would be amiss, though. I think we're good. I found the other article I was looking for. We would be amiss, though, if we didn't mention Annabelle the doll.
Yeah, we would.
We would be missing something.
She's a legend.
A legend. I'm sure if you have just like turned on your TV in the past 10 years,
breathed today.
Yeah, I'm sure you at least are familiar with the name. So Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll. And the story behind Annabelle, she was given to a young nursing student named Donna by her mother in the 1970s. The doll would move around the apartment when Donna and her roommate weren't home. The young women were willing to put up with the doll that moved around on her own, but things soon got scary. The doll left notes asking for help. I've actually not heard this before. The doll left notes asking for help. Then she attacked the roommate's boyfriend. When the young women found blood on the doll's dress, they called a psychic. The psychic revealed that the doll was possessed by a girl named Annabelle.
Oh.
That's how it got its name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I always was curious.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I'm
going to send you this real fast.
Okay.
Yeah. I've actually not seen the movie Annabelle. But I haven't
seen it either.
I have seen other stuff based on Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think there's some debate on how accurate Ed and Lorraine Warren were actually. And well, the movies the movies are not entirely accurate of Ed and Lorraine Warren's actual investigations.
Okay.
But anyway, the movies are based. I think it's The Conjuring, Conjuring 2. But they're based on Ed and Lorraine Warren's investigations.
Wow.
Yeah. Is this a haunted Elmo doll?
I don't know.
Do you take this one? I've been talking for a while.
Okay. I guess it is haunted. Okay. So, yeah, Elmo, I think, is on slightly higher level than Annabelle is being known, but...
Yeah, publicity-wise, for sure.
Yeah. But talking Elmo dolls have been a must-have holiday gift since they first were available to buy in 1996. Early Elmos giggled when they were tickled. They got larger vocabularies as time went on. But that doesn't explain the Elmo Knows Your Name doll purchased by the Bowman family in 2008 for their 2-year-old son, James. Elmo Knows Your Name was programmed to speak its owner's name along with a few other phrases. But when the Bowmans changed Elmo's batteries, he started ad-libbing. In a sing-songy voice, the doll chanted, "Kill James." Not something any parent's likely to find endearing.
What?
Elmo is on one.
I've not heard of this. That is sketchy.
Uh-huh.
That is very sketchy. Wow.
You would think that, like, someone had it before and, like, programmed it to say that or something, and it, like, glitched.
I mean, maybe.
But that's that's their kid's
that
name
is
is creepy.
That is very sketchy. Yeah, I guess it could be a coincidence, but more and more I get older, I don't know that there are coincidences.
I know. Amen.
That's very sketchy. Go ahead.
The next one is Mandy the Haunted Doll. And she does not play well with others and lives in Canada in the Quesnel Museum, where the staff say they must keep her in a separate display case. And when she's with other dolls, she just knocks them over. The staff also reported their lunches disappear and that visitors' cameras don't work when taking pictures of the doll. She's a porcelain baby doll, probably manufactured in Europe around 1910. And the woman who donated her told the museum she was getting rid of the doll because it cried at night.
Man. So I just thought of this. That's off the top of my head. Also, all that is very sketchy.
Yeah.
Do you think, so they keep, like, Robert the Doll was made in, like, 1904. This said probably around 1910. Do you think the people making the doll worked and had very poor, I'm just assuming. Right. If you're working in a doll factory, you probably are not a very wealthy person.
Yeah.
You probably don't have a lot of money. You're probably making ends meet. Also, the working conditions in the doll factories, probably not great. Probably pretty poor, right? So you have poor working conditions, probably going home to a house that is not great.
Right.
Probably a lot of stress. Do you think that the people making the dolls could have some effect on, like, projecting their
Definitely.
anxiety, whatever it is, mental illness, stress, and it creates like we've talked about tulpas before, like a thought form. What if it creates some sort of energy inside that doll, and then because it's like their dolls are very rare, right? There are probably hundreds of thousands more dolls that aren't haunted than are haunted.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like,
It could be, yeah.
does the
Definitely.
maker of the doll have some...
Instead of, like, someone who owned it prior.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's a good thought.
Yeah.
Next is a haunted gang of dolls. So like we just said, most dolls are given up by their owners when they, like, cry at night or creepy, so they get rid of them. But the owners of these 8 terrifying dolls were interested in paranormal phenomena and bought this collection because they were said to be possessed. Their names: Crystal, Monica with a K, Charla, True, Isaac, Lily, Cameron, and Ashley. The owners have a camera constantly recording the dolls and other parts of the house. In 2009, one camera appears to have recorded something strange, a ghostly boy appearing at the bottom of a staircase. That is the...
Yikes.
Something strange is hyperlinked, and I am not
Yeah, don't click on that.
gonna click on that because it probably take us to Haunted Doll Cam. Or whatever.
No, it sounds exactly like Haunted Doll Cam. Sounds exactly
That's
like
exactly what it is.
it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's just... I mean... I guess if you buy them knowing that they're haunted, I guess it takes...
Yeah.
I mean, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
It's like...
And, like, if that's what they wanted to study or, like, look at, it's cool.
Yeah. It's like
Interesting.
if you become a politician, like, you know you're getting into something seedy, something sketchy. Like, you're getting into something sketchy.
Right.
So what I was going to mention earlier, there's I think they're pretty famous investigators in the field of the paranormal. Greg and Dana Newkirk. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a traveling museum of paranormal and occult. And they have, like, you can, like, hold haunted objects. Like, they have a bunch of different occult pieces that people will donate to the museum because they don't want to deal with them anymore.
Huh.
Yeah, and so they've collected, like, a ton of stuff, and I think they keep them in a room in their house, and then they take some on the road and, like,
Okay.
show them off. But anyway,
Wow.
that's what I was trying to think of
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
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 All right.
Finish the list.
What are there? 8 of these guys?
I think there's 4 more.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Ruby.
Oh. Ruby is part of the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal.
Yeah.
They call it. Yeah.
So, the owners of Ruby often found the doll in different rooms of the house. Picking up Ruby included feelings of sadness and nausea. According to its former owners, Ruby was passed down through many generations, and the doll's spooky origin traces back many years ago to a young family relative who is said to have passed away while clutching the figurine. So that one makes the most sense to me.
That does.
Like,
That
there's
makes a
a
lot of sense.
direct,
Yeah.
you're like, yes,
Yeah.
that thing is not going to be normal. So, but yeah, like Eric said, Ruby's part of the traveling museum that he was just talking about. But yeah, I guess that when people see Ruby or hold her, they feel the same way. So,
Yeah.
Charlie, the haunted doll, was first discovered in the attic of an old Victorian home in upstate New York in 1968. He was locked away inside a trunk with newspapers dating back to the 1930s and a yellowed piece of paper that had the Lord's Prayer written on it. The family placed the figurine on display with their other dolls and toys, and soon Charlie seemed to move on its own, swapping places with other toys.
Oof, man. Gets worse.
It does. Not long thereafter, the family's youngest daughter claimed that Charlie spoke to her in the middle of the night, and the parents just kind of ignored this and thought their daughter was like dramatic and had an imagination. But the little girl and her siblings were terrified of Charlie, and they refused to go near it. And when mysterious scratches appeared on the little girl's body, the family decided to lock Charlie back up in the attic trunk. He now resides at Local Artisan, a Beverly, Massachusetts oddity shop just minutes away from Salem.
Shout out Hocus Pocus.
Go Salem.
Wow. Yeah. Again, it was forgot about.
Yeah, it was.
You know?
You locked me up in a trunk, bitch.
Yeah, seriously. You left me until 1968.
With the Lord's Prayer just
Yeah.
staring at me.
Yeah, I mean, anybody's gonna get pissed off.
Yeah,
like I
absolutely.
don't blame
Charlie at all.
Yeah, not at all, not at all.
You should do the next one because there's a city I cannot pronounce.
Oh yeah, wow, that's a tough one. Yeah,
I love this.
This one is the Island of the Dolls. So the Island of the Dolls is located in.
Take a second.
Oh man. See, it's an Aztec. It's an Aztec sounding name, and it's got an X at the beginning. So Xochimilco?
Yeah.
Xochimilco? I guess that's probably the best.
Like, the audacity of them to put an X-O-C-H.
I know. Well, yeah, it's really strange.
Zacamilco?
Xochimilco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's located in the Xochimilco Canal system just south of Mexico City. The aisle is completely covered by broken and decaying dolls that hang from trees. The dolls are placed there by Julian Santana Barrera, the former owner of the island, who festooned the island. That is a word I've never heard of. Festooned the island with dolls in an effort to appease the spirit of a girl who drowned nearby. The site is only accessible by boat. Given its eerie backstory and unsettling state, the Island of Dolls is a popular tourist destination. Those who visit the island and walk amongst the dolls often claim the figures whisper to them. The visitors are also encouraged to leave offerings or other dolls on the island to add to the collection. Okay.
Festoon. Do you know what that
Festoon.
means?
No.
It's to, like, hang things up, like, in the air, like, on a string. So they're all connected by, like, a string.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
So I'm just picturing, like a clothesline, but with dolls hanging.
Yeah, which is very unsettling.
Like, so unsettling. Yeah. Wow.
Sorry, the first line of this cracks me up. Go ahead.
Letta?
Yeah.
Letta the haunted doll. Letta the haunted doll. This is the first line.
Yeah.
also known as Let 'Em Me Out, is truly one of the scariest looking haunted dolls.
It is. This is probably
It is.
the scariest
It
one
is.
out of all of them.
The child-sized figurine is said to be about 200 years old and is made of carved wood and real human hair.
Ew.
So, like, they murdered someone to get the
Yeah,
hair.
it definitely did.
So, the doll's owner, Carrie Walton, claims to have found Letta in the 1970s while exploring a deserted home in Wagga Wagga, Australia.
That's like Walla Walla, Washington.
I was so excited to say that.
Also, if you find something in a deserted home, don't fucking pick it up.
So, Carrie Walton brought the doll back to his home in Queensland. Soon thereafter, strange events began to happen. Household items shifted positions, scuff marks appeared on the floor. Walton's children complained of nightmares, and one night they woke up screaming that Letta was talking and moving around on its own. Dogs turned aggressive whenever they were near the doll, while guests claimed to see the doll move. At some point, Walton tried to sell off Letta, only to find that he physically couldn't get him out of the car. What?
Damn.
Let me out.
Damn.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Wow. That's tough. I want to say it in an Italian accent. Let me out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right?
Uh-huh.
Let me out. Man. That is tough.
That's, yeah, like...
I don't understand people who pick things up randomly.
I know.
I don't
I don't
understand
either.
the fascination.
I don't get it.
With picking random things up. Like, just leave it. Just leave it where it is. Like, there's a reason someone left it there. Mm-hmm. There's a reason it is not with someone else, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just don't understand that. Like, there's a reason dog shit is on the ground in the middle of the sidewalk. Because someone forgot about it. Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah.
if there's a doll in a random house,
There's a reason.
someone, clearly it was not important enough for them to take it with them.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
that's my rant of the day. Don't pick up random shit, but pick up your dog shit.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's all I got. Those were good ones, though.
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
thought those are some good,
Love those.
some good dolls. A lot of them I'd never heard of. Like, I'd only heard of Robert and Annabelle.
Yeah,
Honestly, the Elmo one to me is one of the weirdest, I think.
I agree. I do.
Just because it's like, it's very recent and like, yeah. Mm-hmm. How would it, I don't know.
I know.
It like had technology in it, which,
Right.
yeah, it's kind of creepy. Cool. Well, what should we do for, let's brainstorm here for the last 5 minutes. What should we do for the rest of the Halloween season?
Of the Halloween season. What were we were just talking about, I was texting you the other day when you said, I think we should do haunted dolls.
Yeah, you did give me some suggestions. Hold on, let me see if I can find the rest. Yeah, I said haunted dolls. I think it was, man.
I cannot remember.
I feel like there was a Oh, well, you just watched Patient 17, the documentary by what's his face?
Yeah.
Jeremy Corbell.
Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah.
That's true. That might have been what it was. And then we were the other night talking about, it's not really spooky though.
Patient 17?
No, not that. Well, that, but like also we're talking about like, the conspiracies about what space actually is.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, that's true. We were at the dinner table. Yeah. Well, what do you remember about Patient 17? Because I have some thoughts.
Oh, yeah. It was just like weird that, so the guy who was like helping research what type of, like what the content,
The surgeon guy?
the other guy,
Oh, yeah.
what the content of the piece of metal in the guy's leg actually was.
Just the guy at the very end? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The fact that he, spoiler alert, disappears, like, after this is being researched, after he relays the information of what this piece of metal is made out of. That was weird. And then I just didn't really know if I trusted the surgeon and the guy. Like, I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. So I agree with all that. There were some issues because at least to the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen anything followed up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's what I was confused about because, like, Jeremy Corbell's made a ton of documentaries. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, the surgeon guy died. The one guy who claimed he had been, or had this thing removed from him, mm-hmm. disappeared. And then, the last guy at the end can't determine where this metal could have come from.
Right.
And so you're at the end of the movie, at the end of the documentary, I was left with like,
okay.
So that's great. A lot of loose ends, but there's no definition around what actually happened.
Right. That's how I felt. I don't know. I mean, what made me believe that the guy who they were like researching probably did have an experience with extraterrestrials was that he had weird shit happen to him his whole life. Like, it was a consistent theme. And I think the masses of people aren't going around and having like experiences that are odd every single day. Like, I think they pick a few people and like stick with them for years. Like, I don't know why they'd want to just take random people and like abduct them. Like, I think whatever these aliens are, like, it makes sense that they would stick with like one guy and follow him throughout his life. So I don't know, that makes sense, but he also was so indifferent about it.
Yeah, I think that's the part that frustrated me is there was a lot of indifference. Mm-hmm. No one was like, yes.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I mean,
there is a theory out there that, people obviously have encounters with gray aliens, mm-hmm. the little small guys with the big eyes. There's a theory out there that President Eisenhower, after World War II, made a deal with the aliens that they could abduct a certain portion of the population for like some deal of like nuclear technology or some advanced technology. So that's a theory that I've heard a few times. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was trying to find the name of the surgeon guy, but anyway, because he had done that to a bunch of other people, so, but, yeah, I just didn't think the documentary did a great job of giving the whole story. That was the tough part. So,
yeah, I felt the same way.
But it is what it is.
And it's like, I think everyone's past the point of being like, oh, is there something else out there? But it's like, to what extent are they intertwined with, like, our world as we know it, you know?
The surgeon's name was Roger Leir.
Yes.
Roger Leir. And, yeah, this guy...
I have, like, a random, like, weird thing, which I kind of like what we have going on right here. Like, at the end, we just...
Yeah, just
talk
ramble
about random things, but... Yeah. I was listening to this podcast, and it was this kid who was like 18 or 19, and he had a girlfriend who he lived with, and his parents like hadn't heard from him for like a couple days, and it was around like Christmas time, so they called the police and were like, can you go do like a check on him? And they're like, sure. So they go over there and they open the door, and there's like room is a disaster. There's like blood like everywhere and stuff, and so they take the girlfriend's on the couch dead.
Oh my God.
And so they take this guy in, the boyfriend, and start questioning him. Obviously he's the suspect, but when they walked in there, he was just walking around like pacing, And so they're like, oh, this guy's like a psychopath. So they go in, interview him for 8 hours. And I listened to like audio of the interview. There's video too, but I just didn't watch it. But he continues to tell the detective, like, my head hurts so bad. And he has a black eye and it's like, looks like he's been beaten up. So thinking like they got into a fight or something. He's like, my head hurts. Like, I need to go back to sleep. So long story short, this police department ends up getting like taken to court because the guy, the boyfriend, wasn't the one who killed the girlfriend, but he was like there when people broke into his house, and they shot him 4 times in the head, and none of them killed him.
What?
Yeah. And it was a 22 like caliber, so it was very small bullets, and they just were like in his head.
Wow. That is insane.
And the girls doing the podcast were like so pissed because they're like, if you just look at a picture of this guy, like, he clearly needs help. Like,
Oh
even
my
if he
God.
did do the crime, like,
Yeah.
you want to get the correct information out of him, like, why. But yeah, this detective just kept like for like 7 or 8 hours. But it was
Good
wild because he
Lord.
was in the apartment for 2 days with his girlfriend dead. Because he didn't know what was going, like, he didn't know what was going on. And when you hear them talking, he's like, it's like he's not even there. Like, he's speaking words, but so like 4 years later, he ends up dying because he became like blind and had all these mental issues because these bone fragments were floating around in his brain.
That's like, did you ever watch Making a Murderer?
Yep. And that kid. Mm-hmm.
Dude, the cops, yeah.
And like one thing everyone can get behind is when law enforcement, like, I think for the most part, everyone's like, we do need them. They're great. And they do
Yeah.
serve the community, but there are some idiots.
There are some times where
And
you're
some
just
bad
like,
people,
there,
like-
there are 100%.
And you're just, it
Yep.
pisses you off to no end because
does.
you're like, just do your job.
Yeah,
But
I know. Well, and
the-
it's usually in like some of the most high-profile cases.
It
as
is.
well. Yeah. Which
But
is
yeah,
very
and
weird.
this one was like a huge deal. Like, it was like over 10 years ago now. But
Jeez.
yeah, it was the fact that he was like in the room with her. And because when they walked in, they said it smelled like so bad, obviously, because she'd been dead for 2 days.
Yeah.
And he just had no idea. And they were like, why didn't you call the police? And like, they end up doing like
Because he got
this-
shot in the head 4 times.
yeah, 4 something. It was more than once.
Jeez.
I think it was 4, but it was like one of the craziest cases ever, they said, because they were like, he literally stayed in there for 2 days because he didn't know. Like, his brain was messed up. He couldn't comprehend. So,
Man.
that was a wild one.
That's nuts. I've never heard of that.
I know, I hadn't either.
That is crazy. Wow.
I can't remember where it was, but I guess in that, like, that state, it was
Yeah.
like
Really
the biggest deal, yeah.
Damn.
Because these girls were like, they sounded like they were from the Midwest.
okay.
And the one girl, she was like, yeah, no, I remember this one. Like, you will too, because it was just bizarre. Like, she's like, when you hear, you'll remember. Because
Wow.
it's like so obscure.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
We'll
didn't-
brainstorm.
yeah, we'll brainstorm. You
I
know.
kind of really want to go down the mermaid thing.
Okay, we can do that.
Not really Halloween-y, but
Yeah. The aquatic ape.
oh, yeah.
That documentary is bogus, by the way. I don't know if you know
I've
that.
never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, you've never seen it?
never seen it.
Yeah, no, it's was it Animal Planet, I think?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think the aquatic ape theory, I think, is
Is a thing.
I guess possible, but the documentary, whatever it is, Mermaid, yeah,
Yeah.
it was staged. It was
Crazy.
staged just for production, but it's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
they did a really good job, so
Good time.
yeah, good time. Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. You can find us on Twitter at World We Live Pod. You can find us on Facebook at The World We Live In Podcast. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. And you can, rate and review. Give us a follow. Give us a subscribe. And then you'll be able to see whenever we upload an episode. That's about it.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Have a great spooky season. Watch some scary movies.
Yep.
See Hocus Pocus 2, even though it's not that scary, but it's a good movie.
Great Halloween movie.
Yeah. And we'll talk to you next time.